the first novel, The South, is very exotic. It's set in Spain and has all these artists. But I realized that I didn't want to repeat that. So for the second novel, I wrote a much calmer book set in Enniscorthy, where I'm from, called The Heather Blazing, which is much more about a sort of quiet, conservative Ireland. And then I realized, well, that didn't do either. So I needed to really write a big, explosive novel about gay people. So I wrote The Story of the Night, which is set among a number of gay people in Argentina. So that, in a way, one novel, of those first three, are almost replies to the previous one, where I'm trying to do the opposite, or I'm desperately trying not to repeat it, or not to go there again, that I've done that. And after The Story of the Night, I realized that I had set that novel among gay people in Argentina, but so I should do one among gay people in Ireland. So I wrote The Blackwater Lightship. And then after that, I realized that I was fed up writing novels about provincial Irish people, and I would write The Master, which is about Henry James. So I got to do the research in Rome, in Florence, in Venice, which is much more exciting than looking into my own heart or into my own memory. And then after that, there were a few things I hadn't done. I had written 3 travel books. One of them is where I walked along the border between the North and the South, called Bad Blood. Then a book I wrote about Catholic Europe, which is called The Sign of the Cross. And then a book I wrote about Barcelona, called Homage to Barcelona. But I found the traveling too lonely. I got just fed up being in Bratislava on a Saturday night, for no reason. And I decided to give that up. So I gave that up. And then there were 2 things that I hadn't, well, 3 things I hadn't done, I suppose. I hadn't written a play, so I wrote a play called Beauty in a Broken Place. Then I hadn't written short stories, so I wrote a book of short stories called Mothers and Sons. And then I hadn't written a biography, but then it looked daunting, a biography. So I wrote a short biography of Lady Gregory called Lady Gregory's Toothbrush. And after that, then I wrote Brooklyn, which was the sort of opposite to the Henry James book, which is, instead of having someone rich coming from America to England and being posh and knowing duchesses, I would get someone utterly powerless going from Ireland to America and knowing no one much, except her boyfriend. So that all of the novels sort of come within a vast echo chamber you could call the novel, and each of them attempt to reply to the previous one in some way or other by almost not doing it again.